Trump for Indiana and Arkansas at this moment. So we'll continue to give you those updates more as we get more states involved. But right now, we want to go out to our sister station, Fox 5 in Atlanta. Right now, we have Claire Sims with us. Welcome, Claire. And what are you seeing across the board here today?
Good evening, Mike. Things in Georgia have been really interesting. We've had a huge turnout even before Election Day. We had nearly 4 million people who voted either absentee by mail or during our 3 weeks of early voting here in Georgia. So they were expecting, obviously, record turnout, somewhere between 5 and 5.5 million people when all is said and done. And things have gone very smoothly here in Georgia. We have a brand new voting system here in the state for the first time in more than a decade. And so there were some concerns going in about what that might look like. There's obviously more people who turn out for a general election than there were for our primary back in June. But for the most part, we had a few trouble spots here and there, but things have gone smoothly. There are still some precincts and some counties that have precincts open at this hour. Normally they close here at 7 p.m., but because of a few scattered problems, they're still open. But they are expected to close in the next half hour or so, and we are starting to see some results trickle in.
Yeah, this is so interesting, Claire, that Georgia is so in play right now. It hasn't always been the way like this.
No, Georgia hasn't voted for a Democratic presidential candidate since Bill Clinton in 1992. But what's interesting about that is that after that, most Democratic presidential candidates sort of wrote Georgia off, and none of them came here. But in the last couple of weeks, we've seen visits from Kamala Harris, Joe Biden, Jill Biden, Kamala Harris's husband. We've had a lot of people here in Georgia trying to win voters over. And because of that, we also saw a lot of visits from the Trump campaign. So the president was here having a rally on Sunday night about an hour north of Atlanta, not an area that you would have thought he would have been concerned about prior to this year. Donald Trump Jr. was here about a week and a half ago trying to rally supporters too. So we have heard talk about battleground Georgia and Georgia becoming a purple state for the last few years, and it looks like this year it really could be closer than ever.
Yeah, definitely right here. We're feeling that in Arizona here as well. That was once a good part to be red, but now could be in that purple area as well. So battleground states all across the board. And we're waiting for your neighbor big time in Florida as well. All eyes on Florida coming up here in just moments. But Claire Sims, thank you for breaking down what you are seeing across the board there in Georgia.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, no problem. We continue to bring you the very latest here on News Now from Fox as it is happening right here. Let's show you what the latest numbers that we are seeing from our electoral numbers here. 85 for Joe Biden right now, 61 for President Trump, but we all are waiting for that Florida call right now. Let's bring in our very own Andrew Kraft here as well, as he is continuing to look at everything that we are seeing across the board as well. And Andrew, like we were talking about, Florida.